Hello, welcome. Here we are going to discuss the types of questions that can be expected in the LATEX and SAGEMATH practical examination for BSc mathematics students. You can see here displayed the model a model question paper, or the structure of a model question paper. Duration of the examination is 3 hours. Maximum mark is 80. First, there are two sections. First section will contain questions selected from LATEX, and the second section will contain questions from SAGEMATH. In the first section, you have to answer one ticked question, one selected question from this section. Each question which are given in this question in this section carry 30 marks. The external examiner should identify 4 questions out of 8 questions. So 8 questions will be there given in this section, and the external examiner will identify 4 questions in consultation with the internal examiner, and should allot these questions to the students only from this selected 4 questions, and the candidate will be then requested to answer or do practical on one of the questions, one of the 4 selected questions. One question will be given to the student. So here that way here you can see 4 questions are numbered here, 4 questions, but actually they are not questions. In this model question paper, it tells us the structure of the question paper, tells about the structure of the question paper, and not the questions. Actual questions are not given here. So the first one, second, third, and fourth, one of the questions will be ticked and given to each student. And in the first question, first type of question may contain the topic belonging to integration, that is definite, double, triple, and type of integrals. Integration symbols should be typeset using LATEX with that can be with or without limits. And then differentiation, the differentiation in fraction form, and also of functions, typesetting sets and symbols of well-known mathematical sets, limits, piecewise definition of functions, matrices, determinants, subscripts and superscripts, and at the same time common Greek alphabets can also be expected. You should note that if the candidate requests a change of the question, change of any of the question, then the examiner will reduce your mark by 2. So 30 total 30 marks are there for a question. So if you are asking for a change of the question, then you have the right to ask for a change of the question, but for each change 2 marks will be reduced. That means then your mark will, if you are requesting one change of the question, then your mark will be assessed, you will be then assessed on a total of 28 marks. Okay, so the first part can contain questions belonging to this topic, and the second part, the what kind of things can be expected. It is given here. Text in bold letters, italics, emphasize the style, emphasizing the matter, and various font sizes, underline text, format text in capitals and small letters, then align the text at various positions, etc., and then spacing of the text. All these are the topics that can be expected in the second question. The third type of question can be of writing LaTeX file to obtain an output consisting of mathematical symbols as suggested by the examiner. So you can expect a question in which you're asked to typeset mathematical symbols and expressions. The fourth type question, typesetting tables with rows and columns, instructed by the examiner, or show how to typeset theorems, lemmas, definitions, etc., using special packages, or typeset equations with or without numbers using align environment, and typeset bullets and items, etc. So these are the important topics that can be expected to ask questions by selecting them from. Okay, so these are very important. Next, coming to the SAGEMATH topic. Here in SAGEMATH, 16 questions will be asked from SAGEMATH. So you can see here what is described. The external examiner should identify 8 questions. So total 16 questions will be there in the question paper, and the examiner will identify 8 questions from this list in consultation with the internal examiner, and should allot these questions to the students only from these 8 questions finally selected. And how many questions that one student should answer. Out of these 8 questions, you need to answer only 2 questions, and each question carries 25 marks. So total marks that you can earn from the SAGEMATH section is 50. 25 plus 25, 50. Plus the first part can give you 30 marks, and in total you can score 80 marks. Now, examiner should suggest functions to use in the questions whenever it is not specified in the question itself. Some questions, in some questions, some mention about functions will be there, but function may not be directly given. In such situation, an examiner can select a question. That's all. If the candidates request for a change of a question out of these 8, if a student asks for a change of a question, then 8 marks should be reduced for each such a change. That the difference is there. It is not a 2 mark reduction here. In the case of SAGEMATH, suppose you are asking for a change of the question, then 8 marks should be reduced. This is what they say about that change of question in this section. So 16 questions that can the type of questions that can be, or the topics in SAGEMATH from where from which the questions can be expected are given here. Plotting of graphs using different plotting graphs using different columns, different colors, and the plotting of graphs using different colors, and then for these colors can be chosen for different curves. So plotting of graphs in general, plotting of graphs or plotting of curves, and using different colors, and finding derivatives, evaluating definite integrals. Then the integration of different types, single valued, two valued, single valued, two valued, or three valued, etc. Variables here, the number of variables are given here. Then single variable type for the for definite integration. This single variable, double variable, and triple variable type integration can be expected. And then definite defining multivariable functions and evaluating them, finding averages, finding GCD, expressing GCD as a linear combination, and finding roots, vector valued functions, and divergence curl, etc. Divergence curl, implicit function plotting, then 3D plot, implicit function plotting, 3D plot, and defining curves, and finding points of intersection of them, and defining curves, and finding the point of intersection of them, etc. These are the important topics from which questions can be asked. Okay, thank you.